They said no one who entered Okoro River ever returned alive. They said the water was cursed, that a creature lived inside it. A creature that loved the taste of human fear. A creature that dragged its victims into the darkness below, leaving nothing but silence. So when little Kene fell on his knees at the riverbank, trembling and crying, "Please, please spare my life," the wind stopped. The trees froze. Even the birds dared not make a sound. And as the river broke open like a giant angry mouth, revealing the monster everyone feared, Kene realized something terrifying. His death had been planned. By someone living under the same roof with him. This was not an accident. This was not fate. This was betrayal. And the most dangerous part? The creature staring at him already knew the truth. Welcome to Nightfall Tales by Wura, where every story opens a doorway into the unseen. Relax, listen closely, and let the mystery guide you. Kene was only 16, but life had forced him to grow faster than boys his age. He lived in the small village of Umuaja, a place surrounded by thick forests and whispering rivers. But under his uncle's roof, even the sunlight felt heavy. His uncle, Madu, was a tall, sharp-eyed man with a heart colder than a snake's skin. Everyone respected him because he was loud, wealthy, and always pretended to be generous. But inside his home, the mask fell away. His voice was thunder. His anger was fire. And Kene, the orphan son of his late brother, was the fuel. After Kene lost his parents in a strange night accident, one no one in the village fully understood, Madu took him in. Some people praised him for it, saying, "Ah, Madu is a good man. Look how he cares for his late brother's child." But that was the lie. Kene's days were filled with labor. Fetching water, splitting firewood, cleaning compound, cooking, washing plates, taking care of Madu's 2 children, everything. He slept on a mat near the kitchen. He ate last. He spoke only when spoken to. He lived like a stranger in his own bloodline. But despite all this, Kene's heart remained soft. He prayed each morning. He always tried to do the right thing. He loved Madu's children like siblings, even though their father treated him like dirt. One thing Kene didn't know, however, was that a dark shadow had been following him since the day he was born. A secret connected to his father. A secret his uncle feared more than anything else. That secret was the reason Madu could not sleep. It was the reason he hated the boy. It was the reason he wanted him gone. But the day Madu made his final decision was the day his youngest child, Obi, fell sick. The child shivered with fever. The wife cried. The neighbors gathered. People brought herbs, roots, and leaves. Nothing worked. Then Madu stood up suddenly, like a man who had just received a divine message. "Kene," he shouted. Kene ran in immediately. "Yes, uncle." Madu pointed at the dying child and said, "Obi needs water from Okoro River. That is the only thing that can save him." The wife gasped. The neighbors exchanged looks. The entire hut went silent. Because everyone knew. Okoro River was forbidden. Anyone who went there never came back. But Madu, pretending to be desperate, held Kene's shoulder tightly. "Don't you want your cousin to live? Don't you want to help this family that sheltered you?" Tears filled Kene's eyes instantly. Of course he wanted to help. Of course he wanted Obi to survive. So with a shaking voice, he said, "I will go, uncle." Madu smiled. A wicked smile. A smile no one noticed except the spirits watching. The journey to Okoro River felt longer than usual that day. The forest was too quiet. Even the wind refused to blow. Kene's hands shook as he carried the brown calabash Madu gave him. Stories of Okoro River danced in his mind. People disappearing. Bodies never found. Strange lights seen at night. Voices calling from underwater. Grandmothers told children never to go near it. Hunters refused to cross it. Pregnant women avoided even the road leading towards it. But Kene kept walking. Not for himself. But for Obi. After about an hour, the forest opened, revealing the riverbank. Kene froze. The place was silent, too silent. The river looked calm, yet strange, like a sleeping snake waiting for a mistake. He kneeled slowly and dipped the calabash into the water. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then he heard it. A deep rumbling sound. The water began to vibrate. Waves formed out of nowhere. The ground trembled. Kene jumped back, dropping the calabash. Suddenly, the river split open. Not like water, but like a giant mouth tearing apart. Something massive rose from the center. A creature. Tall. Blue. Shining. With scales that glowed like moonlight on metal. Its tail crashed into the water, sending waves everywhere. Kene fell on his knees, terrified, shaking violently. His voice broke into pieces as he cried. Please, please spare my life. The creature stared at him with cold, glowing eyes. Then it stepped closer. 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 It stretched its long hand toward him. Kene squeezed his eyes shut, waiting for death. Waiting for teeth. Or claws. Or darkness. But instead, he heard a voice. A calm, deep, ancient voice. Why do you fear me? Kene opened his eyes slowly, confused. The creature was no longer towering above him with anger. It had softened. Its eyes, still glowing, held something like curiosity. Stand up, child, the creature said. Kene shook even more. I thought you would kill me. The creature bent slightly, studying him. Kill you? A pause. Then it whispered. I know who sent you. Kene gasped. No, he whispered, his chest tightening. My uncle would never. Your uncle, the creature interrupted. Sent you here to die. Kene couldn't breathe. Tears ran down his face. The creature continued. But you are not meant for death. Your blood is not ordinary. Your father once saved my life. Kene's heart almost stopped. My father? The creature nodded. There is a mark on your shoulder. A mark that shows you belong to the ancient river guardians. Your life is protected. The creature then placed a glowing hand on Kene's chest. Warmth spread through his body. You will not die today, it said. You will rise. The river calmed. The creature stepped back slowly, but its eyes remained fixed on Kene. Take the calabash, it said softly. Kene picked up the calabash with trembling hands. Return home, the creature continued. And give the water to the child. It will heal him. Kene couldn't speak. He was still shaking from shock. Why me? He finally whispered. Why do you protect me? The creature's voice echoed across the river. Because your father died protecting the river. Because the blood in your veins carries the spirit of the guardians. And because the one who wants you dead. The creature paused. Will face judgment very soon? Kene swallowed hard. What judgment? The creature turned away. You will see. Before Kene could ask more questions, the creature sank into the river, disappearing like smoke dissolving in the air. The forest suddenly returned to life. Birds chirping. Wind blowing. Leaves rustling. As if nothing had happened. But something had happened. Something that would change the entire village forever. Kene ran back home, holding the calabash tightly. When he entered the compound, everyone gasped. Some staggered back in fear. One woman screamed. Jesus! He came back. The boy came back. Madhu's wife rushed to him. Did you get the water? Please tell me you did. Kene nodded and gave her the calabash. She rushed inside to give Obi the river water. Madhu stood at the door, frozen. His hands shaking. His lips twitching. He didn't expect to see the boy alive. He didn't expect the plan to fail. And when he looked into Kene's eyes, he saw something that made his heart jump. A glow. A strange calm. A silent strength. Something supernatural. Something dangerous. Something he had feared since Kene was a baby. The prophecy was unfolding. His plan had backfired. And the river was watching. That night, the village slept in peace, but Madhu did not. He paced back and forth across his room, sweating even though the night was cold. His hands trembled. His breathing was heavy. His eyes were red. His greatest fear had come true. Kene returned alive. Not only alive, but with something strange shining in his eyes. Something Madhu recognized from long ago. Because Madhu knew the boy's family had a secret. A secret connected to the river. A secret that should have died with his brother. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him. It was his wife. "Madhu," she whispered, "why are you not sleeping? Obi is better now. It's a miracle. You should be happy." Madhu turned sharply. "Happy?" he hissed. "How can I be happy? That boy should be dead." His wife covered her mouth in shock. "Madhu! He saved our child. Why would you say this?" Madhu grabbed her arms roughly. "You don't understand. If that boy grows, everything I have will be taken from me. The land, the house, the properties, everything. But he is your brother's son. I don't care." Madhu shouted. "He carries a curse. And now he has brought something evil into this house. Madhu, stop. You're scaring me." He stepped back, breathing hard. Then he lowered his voice. "We must watch him. We must make sure he does not speak to anyone about what he saw." His wife whispered, "What did he see?" Madhu looked at her with eyes full of fear. Something that should never have accepted him. He swallowed hard. The river creature. His wife screamed softly and covered her mouth. "Madhu, please, don't involve us in this. The river kills people. If Kene survived, maybe he is blessed." Madhu's face twisted in anger. "No. He is dangerous." A cold wind blew through the window. The lamp flickered. Madhu's wife whispered shakily. "Madhu, what did you do?" Madhu looked away, but the truth was written across his face. And that night, for the first time in years, a grown man cried. The next morning, news spread across the entire village. Obi is healed. The boy who went to Okoro River brought back miracle water. Women gathered. Men whispered. Children pointed at Kene with wide eyes. Some looked at him with admiration. Others with fear. But one thing was sure. Everyone now believed he carried something supernatural. That afternoon, as Obi ran around happily, Kene sat under a mango tree, thinking about everything he saw at the river. He touched his chest softly where the creature had placed its glowing hand. A warm feeling still pulsed inside him. Then something happened. The wind stopped. The leaves froze. A soft whisper filled the air. "Kene!" He jumped. "Who is that?" he asked, looking around. The whisper came again. "Kene, do not fear." He recognized the voice instantly. It was the creature. But the creature was nowhere to be seen. Kene stood up slowly, shaking. Are you here?" he whispered. The voice replied. "I am always near you. You carry a mark inside your blood. A mark your father once carried. A mark the river respects." Kene swallowed hard. "What do you want from me?" A brief silence. Then. "You must be careful. The one who hates you is restless. His thoughts are dark. His plans are not finished." Kene's heart dropped. "Uncle Madhu?" The whisper deepened. "Yes. He seeks to finish what he started. But do not fear. He cannot touch what I have chosen. Kene closed his eyes tightly. What am I chosen for? The wind blew softly, like a breath. You will know, when the time comes. The whisper faded away. The wind returned. The leaves moved again. Life continued as if nothing happened. But Kene knew better. He now had a secret the whole world would soon know. Evening came with a strange tension. The sky was too dark for the time of day. Dogs barked for no reason. The moon hid behind thick clouds. People walked fast, wanting to be indoors before the night fully settled. Kene helped Madhu's wife wash plates, then prepared his small sleeping mat near the kitchen. But he did not lie down yet. Something didn't feel right. His heart was beating too fast. His skin felt too warm. His spirit was restless. He whispered to himself. Why do I feel like something is coming? Inside the main hut, Madhu was drinking palm wine heavily. His hands shook so much he spilled more than he drank. His wife quietly approached him. Madhu, she whispered, you are not yourself. Are you sure you don't want to rest? He looked at her with wild, red eyes. I can't rest, he said slowly. I can't sleep. Not while that boy is alive. Madhu, she gasped. He slammed the cup on the table. You don't understand. The river chose him. Don't you see? If the river chose him, then it means the prophecy is real. His wife's voice trembled. What prophecy? Madhu looked at her, breathing fast. The prophecy that says, the son of the river guardian will rise from the waters and expose the deeds of darkness. His wife covered her mouth in shock. Madhu, are you trying to say Kene? Madhu nodded slowly. That boy's father was not ordinary. He was part of something ancient. Something powerful. And before he died, he told me that the spirits would protect his son. His wife whispered. So that's why you hated him. That's why you wanted him dead. Madhu looked away, ashamed, but still angry. If he lives, he will take everything away from me. Everything. Suddenly, the lamp in the room flickered violently. Then it went off. Total darkness. Madhu stood up quickly. Who put off that lamp? His wife trembled. I don't think anyone did. From outside, Kene heard the noise and rushed toward the door. Then, a loud thunderous sound hit the RO. Because standing in the middle of the compound was a tall, glowing, blue figure. The river creature. Its scales shined. Its eyes glowed like burning stars. Its voice was deep and angry. Madhu! Everyone froze. The wife collapsed to her knees, crying. Madhu's voice cracked in terror. No, 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 please. The creature stepped forward, shaking the earth with each movement. You sent the boy of destiny to his death. You betrayed the bloodline of your own brother. Now you shall face the consequence of your wickedness. Madhu fell flat on the ground, sobbing, shaking uncontrollably. Please. Please. Please, spare my life. The creature's head turned slowly toward Kene, who stood trembling but unharmed. Kene, it said softly. Speak. Should he live, or should he face judgment? The entire compound held its breath. Even the night paused. And Kene, the orphan boy who was once treated like a slave, now held the power of life and death. The night fell heavily over the village, thicker than normal, almost as if the darkness had weight. People closed their doors earlier than usual. Mothers called their children inside. Even the elders who normally sat beneath the Yarako tree at night quickly gathered their mats and hurried home. Something was coming. Everyone could feel it. Inside Mama Itohan's room, Kene could not sleep. He sat beside the lantern, his fingers shaking slightly. The creature's warning echoed again in his head. He is not the only one coming. But who else? And why? Just then, Mama Itohan returned, carrying a tray of herbs. Her face looked tired but her eyes stayed strong. She sat beside him and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Kene, tell me what troubles you. Kene swallowed hard and told her everything, the creature's warning, the strange footprints, the dream of the burning river, the voice calling his name. Mama Itohan listened quietly, her eyes narrowing slowly. When he finished speaking, she looked toward the window like she was seeing something far away. Kene, there is something I didn't tell you, she whispered. Kene's heart skipped. What is it? She took a long, shaky breath. You are not just a child of destiny. The river chose you before you were born. Your mother, she had a dream when you were still inside her stomach. A voice told her that her son would carry the mark that joins two worlds. Kene blinked. Two worlds? Yes, she whispered. The world of humans, and the world of spirits. Kene gasped, but Mama Itohan lifted a finger. But that also means something very dangerous. Those who rule the dark side of the river will come for you. Kene felt a cold shiver climb up his spine. Before he could speak, the wind outside suddenly changed. It blew violently against the windows. The lantern flame shook. Shadows moved on the walls. Mama Itohan stood up quickly. Kene, hide under the bed. Now. He obeyed immediately. The wind grew stronger. Then. Boom! The door burst open. 3 dark figures entered the room. Their bodies looked like human shapes made of smoke. Their eyes glowed bright red. They didn't walk, they floated. Mama Itohan stood in front of them with her staff. One of the shadow spirits spoke in a voice that sounded like 2 voices mixed together. Where is the boy? Mama Itohan lifted her staff higher. He is under my protection. The spirits hissed. We were ordered, by the one who hides behind the mountain. He wants the boy, alive. Kene's heart pounded so loud he thought it would burst open his chest. Mama Itohan shouted, You will not take him. The spirits rushed forward. She struck the ground with her staff. Boom! A bright light exploded from the floor, lifting the spirits and throwing them against the wall. But they rose again, stronger, angrier. Then, a deep sound came from outside, like a drum underwater. The entire house shook. The river creature's voice echoed from a distance. Leave him. The spirits hissed, began melting into smoke, and disappeared through the roof. Silence returned. Kene crawled out slowly, shaking. Mama Itohan pulled him close. Kene, the battle has started. The one behind the mountain is coming for you. And he is far more dangerous than your uncle ever was. Kene whispered. Who is he? She looked at him, eyes full of fear. Your father's twin brother. Kene gasped. My uncle? No, she said slowly. Your father's real twin, the one the family said died at birth. Kene felt the ground under his feet suddenly disappear. The true danger was blood. Kene could barely walk. His legs felt like sticks. His mind felt heavy, confused, and full of questions. Mama Itohan guided him out of the destroyed room. Dawn was slowly approaching, but the sky still looked strange. Dark clouds gathered in twisted circles as if something was watching from above. Kene, she said gently, there is something you must see before it is too late. She took him behind her house to a small hut he had never noticed before, old, covered with moss, with strange markings on the door. Mama Itohan touched one of the markings. The door unlocked by itself. Inside was a wooden box. She opened it. Inside the box lay a long, brown cloth with drawings of a mountain and a river. The cloth was older than anyone in the village. This, she said, is your family's story. Kene listened carefully as she began unfolding the truth. Your father Chioma had a twin brother, she began. But this twin was not like him. He was born with a shadow mark, a sign that a strong dark spirit entered your family lineage. Kene swallowed. The elders feared him, she continued. They believed he would bring destruction. A powerful priest tried to purify him, but the process failed. The boy disappeared that night. Everyone thought he died. She looked at Kene, her voice shaking slightly. But he didn't die. A dark force took him. Raised him. Changed him. Kene's chest tightened. He grew up inside the Forbidden Mountain, a place where lost spirits and forgotten gods live. Kene whispered. What does he want from me? Mama Itohan closed the cloth. He wants what the river creature gave you. The bond between two worlds. Kene felt sick. He couldn't breathe. Before he could speak, a loud horn blew from far away. Boom! Mama Itohan's eyes widened. He has arrived. Villagers started screaming. Men ran across the fields. Mothers carried children and rushed into huts. Kene and Mama Itohan rushed outside. Standing at the end of the village path was a tall man dressed in a long dark robe. His face was covered with ash. His eyes glowed red like fire. His skin looked almost transparent, as if he was made of half spirit, half human. Behind him, dark mist covered the trees. Kene whispered, trembling. Is that him? Mama Itohan nodded slowly. That is Obikwa, your father's twin brother. The man the village thought died. Obikwa raised his hand slowly and pointed at Kene. His voice echoed like thunder. Nephew! Come to me. Kene stepped back, terrified. Mama Itohan stood in front of him. You will not take him. Obikwa smirked. You cannot stop me, old woman. He took one step forward. The ground cracked under his foot. Kene felt something rising inside him, a strange heat in his chest, the same feeling he had when the river creature touched him. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Lightning struck behind them. The creature's deep voice echoed from the river. You will not harm him. Obikwa smiled darkly. I am not here to harm him. I am here to take what is mine. Kene shook his head desperately. What do you want from me? Obikwa's eyes sharpened. You are the key. The one who can open the gate between our worlds. The village wind howled. Kene whispered. Gate? What gate? Obikwa stretched his hand toward him. The gate that will free the Dark Ones. Kene felt the blood freeze inside his veins. He finally understood. This was not just a family fight. This was the beginning of a war. Kene felt dizzy. His blood ran cold. A heavy pressure filled the air. Obikwa's presence felt like a storm standing on two legs. Mama Itohan grabbed Kene's wrist. Listen to me, she whispered urgently. You must not go near him. If he touches you, the gate will open. Kene whispered, What gate? The gate that keeps the dark spirits trapped in the mountain. You are the key because the river blessed you. If he takes you there, he will gain power over both worlds. But why me? Kene whispered weakly. Mama Itohan looked at him sadly. Because your blood carries both light and shadow. Your father was the bearer of light, and his twin was the bearer of darkness. You are the bridge between both. Kene's chest tightened painfully. Obikwa slowly walked forward again. Each step caused a small tremor in the ground. Kene, he said calmly, the river creature lied to you. You belong with me. Come willingly, and I will spare your village. Kene felt a tear slip from his eye. He looked around. Villagers were hiding. Some crying. Some praying. Some calling his name with trembling voices. Kene, please don't go. Kene, stay back. Kene, run. Obikwa raised one hand again. The wind roared. Choose, nephew. Kene backed up. I won't go with you. Obikwa's eyes burned. You were always going to come with me. You think you can stop prophecy? He turned his palms upward. Dark smoke rose from his hands. Mama Itohan quickly pushed Kene behind her and raised her staff. Obikwu, turn back. If you cross this line, I will. Obikwu laughed. You? An old woman who hides secrets she doesn't understand? He lifted his arm and shot a blast of black energy at them. Mama Itohan thrust her staff down. Boom! Light and darkness collided like two storms smashing into each other. Dust flew everywhere. Trees bent. Ground split open. Animals ran in fear. Kene covered his face as the shockwave pushed him back. When the dust cleared, Mama Itohan was on the ground, struggling to breathe. No! Kene ran to her. She held his hand tightly. Kene, listen, you must go to the river. The creature is waiting. Only he can show you how to fight. Kene shook his head with tears dripping. No, Mama, I'm not leaving you. You must, she forced a weak smile. You are the boy of two worlds, but you must choose which world you will protect. Obikwu walked toward them slowly. Step. 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 Kene stood up. His heart hammered hard. He wiped his tears. He clenched his fists. Obikwu stopped and smirked. You cannot fight me. Kene shook his head. No. But I can stop you from taking me. He turned and ran. Obikwu roared. Come back. Kene sprinted through the village, past the trees, down the path leading toward the river. The sky exploded with thunder. The river creature's voice echoed. Run, Kene. His destiny was waiting. His power was awakening. And the final battle was about to begin. The forest shook under Kene's feet as he ran. Leaves slapped his face. Branches scratched his arms. But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Behind him, Obikwu's roar rolled across the land like thunder. You cannot run from blood. Kene burst out of the forest and reached the riverbank. The water was wild, swirling, twisting, rising like a living creature. Darkness covered the sky, but the river glowed faintly with blue light. Kene. The creature's voice came from beneath the water. You finally came. Kene stood at the edge, out of breath, trembling. Please, he whispered, help me. I don't know what to do anymore. He wants to take me. He wants to use me. He wants to open a gate. He wants to destroy everything. The river rose slowly, forming the familiar shape of the creature, tall, shimmering, covered in glowing scales. Its voice was calm. You cannot run from who you are, Kene. You must choose your path. Kene clenched his fists. But how do I fight him? He is stronger, older, darker. The creature stepped closer and touched Kene's forehead. A deep warmth filled Kene's body. His heartbeat slowed. A strange light began glowing beneath his skin. You were never alone, the creature said quietly. You carry the light of your father, and the strength of the river. Kene looked up. What does that mean? It means, the creature continued, that you can do what he cannot. You can unite the spirit and human worlds without destroying either. That is why he needs you. He cannot open the gate without your consent. Your will is your power. Kene swallowed. I'm scared. The creature lowered its head until its eyes met his. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to stand even when you tremble. Before Kene could speak again. Boom! Obikwu appeared at the riverbank in a violent burst of smoke. His entire body pulsed with dark energy. His eyes glowed bright red. Kene, he said calmly, I will ask this only once more. Come with me. The ground cracked under his feet. The river swirled violently. Kene stepped back. No. Obikwu's jaw tightened. His voice dropped to a growl. You think you are strong because of that thing behind you? You think you can insult me? I am your blood. I am your destiny. Kene shook his head. No. You were my father's shadow, but you are not mine. Obikwa's eyes widened with rage. Kene. He raised both hands, creating a massive whirlwind of black energy. The creature stepped forward, shielding Kene. Obikwa, it warned, leave the boy. But Obikwa screamed. He is mine. He threw the blast straight at Kene. The creature moved too slow to block it. The energy slammed into Kene's chest. But it did not kill him. Instead, something inside him exploded with light. A bright, blinding, golden light burst from Kene's body, shooting into the sky. The river glowed. The trees glowed. The entire valley glowed. Obikwa staggered backward. What is this? The creature whispered. Kene, your power has awakened. Kene looked at his hands. They were glowing. He felt no fear anymore. Only calm determination. Obikwa roared and rushed toward him. Kene stepped forward. One step. Another. Uncle Obikwa, he shouted. Obikwa stopped, shocked that Kene stood firm. Kene lifted his glowing hand. You wanted my power, but you cannot use light to open the gates of darkness. My power was never meant to join you. It was meant to stop you. Obikwa snarled. You dare challenge me? A child? Kene raised his hand higher. The glow intensified. The river creature stepped back, even it could feel the force rising from him. Kene, Obikwa growled, I will give you one last chance. Please, spare my life. Kene froze. Those were his words at the river. Begging for escape. Begging for another day. Kene lowered his hand slightly. You killed, he said quietly. You destroyed. You brought darkness into every step you took. But I am not you. Obikwa looked confused. Kene stepped closer. I will not kill you. But I will stop you. He placed his glowing palm over Obikwa's chest. A bright light flashed. Obikwa screamed, falling to his knees. The darkness in his body began cracking, peeling away like burnt skin. No, stop, please, spare me. Kene whispered. I already have. The final burst of light expelled the dark spirit controlling Obikwa's life. He collapsed unconscious, powerless, human again. The sky cleared. The winds softened. The river calmed. The creature turned to Kene. You have done what I could never do. You used mercy to defeat darkness. Kene took a shaky breath. Will he live? Yes, the creature said softly. But without power. Without evil. Kene nodded. The villagers slowly came out of hiding. Mama Itohan, weak but alive, walked toward the river with a smile. Kene, you are truly your father's son. Kene looked at her, tears in his eyes. I didn't do it alone. The creature returned to the water. Kene, your journey is not over. You are the bridge between two worlds. When the river calls, you must answer. Kene nodded. I will. The creature smiled a rare, ancient smile. Until then, live well, child of destiny. It sank into the water. The river became still. And for the first time since his birth, Kene felt peace. And that is how a frightened boy who once begged, please, spare my life, became the light that saved an entire village. A reminder to us all, sometimes the greatest battles are not won with strength, but with courage, mercy, and the choice to stand for what is right. Until our next tale. Stay brave. Stay kind. And never forget, destiny listens to those who rise.